So, and can I ask you, was it obvious from an early age that Hilary was going to be the more sort of, I mean, obviously all your children are political, but was going to be head down the politician's route, or?
Well, you see, his first wife died of cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
It was an absolutely shattering experience.
Yeah.
I mean, the NHS was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As it has been when my wife died of cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he got on the council 6 months later, and your political, active, elective work began in '79.
In '79, in September, yeah.
Yeah. And
well, I was always interested, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, the first time you got...
Yeah.
Yeah. But was it? I mean, just reading through the diaries, Hilary did seem, somewhat precocious. So there's an account quite early on. I think it's about '63. Must have been about the peerage's case time. Hilary giving a speech, so you'd have been 10, against the hereditary system and against the monarchy. I think things like that. I mean, not every 10-year-old is capable of.
I was incredibly nervous. I think your diaries also recount that.
Right.
I think I gave an interview out there. I remember. In the days when camera crews used to come and there were about 7 people.
Right. Yeah.
In marked contrast to today, Alex is sitting here just doing everything. There was a sound recordist and there was somebody holding the boom and so on.
Yeah.
I mean, I was conscious that people were interested in what was happening to my father. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
But well, I wouldn't describe it as precocious. They asked me a question and I answered it.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you've grown up in a household where you are encouraged to express an opinion and have a view.
Yeah.
But it's a different kind of experience, of course, because he was in the spotlight.
And when Hilary became an MP, and it's obvious just from talking to you now, but it's also obvious in the diaries, it was for you obviously quite an emotional moment.
I burst into tears.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a terrible crier. Whenever I see the railway children, he goes out in the mist. And when I introduced him to the house, all the family were in the gallery, and I burst into tears, and they sat in the gallery and said to each other, "It's the railway children."
It was.
Oh dear.
No, it was a very proud moment. I must say, standing at the bar of the house with you on one side, and Kevin Barron, who'd been one of the MPs who'd helped me in the by-election, on the other.
Yeah.
And I came forward and you signed the book and you shake the speaker's hand and I came and sat behind you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And obviously it was emotional because you have enormous affection for Hilary.
Yes.
But it was also because of the family. It was very important for you to see a 4th generation Ben, wasn't it?
Well, my dad came and sat when I took my seat.
Yeah.
And people used to come to me in that Scotland and say, "Your dad's been in the gallery, your dad's been here," and a bit like that.
Yeah.
And he was he would have been so proud of Hilary, my dad, immensely proud.
Yeah.
And very much in the same area, see, and he was a passionate anti-imperialist. He was thrown out of the window as a student in 1899 because he opposed the Boer War. Fortunately, he was a ground floor student. And he supported the Irish who went over to Ireland in the 1920s, at the time of the Black and Tans, the Irish cause, and then he went to Egypt. He was in favour of our leaving Egypt, and he supported the Egyptians against Eden in '56.
Yeah.
So there's been a continuity, really.
Right, yeah. And you also wrote in the diary that you felt, I mean, I know that when you stood down in '01, your line was, "I'm leaving Parliament because I want to spend more time following a political career."
Well, not political career, more time for politics.
Politics,
no career.
More time for politics, but you also wrote in the diaries that you felt that, because Hilary was elected in '99, that once Hilary was elected it was time for you to go because everyone would have just been talking about your son and to allow Hilary to flourish.
My wife said before she died, we agreed that I would leave Parliament in 2001.
Oh, I see.
And she said, say you're leaving to devote more time to politics, because people leave the government to devote more time to the family, more time to business, but for me it was more time to politics.
Yeah.
And if I'd known what fun it was to be 80, I'd have done it years ago.
Right, yeah.
A lot of experience and no personal ambition whatever. I want nothing for myself.
Yeah.
And that is a liberation which will come to you in due course. Not too soon, I hope. Somebody said to me the other day, "Do you agree with Enoch Powell that all careers end in failure?" I said, "Mine ended in failure years ago. I've had time to recover."
But you felt that you needed to give Hilary space to sort of...
Yeah, well, I thought it was good that he should have it to himself. But I heard you make a speech and ask questions and so on.
Yeah.
You were the one who suggested the idea that organ donors should indicate. It was one of your early points.
Oh, one campaign was trying to get the organ donor symbol on credit cards. Because the problem is people leave the house without carrying their organ donor cards, but what do we always take with us?
Yes, we're right.
The ubiquitous piece of plastic.
Yeah. Somebody prints your credit card, they'd have to give their blood whether they want it or not. I can't give my blood anymore because I've got leukemia.
You became an MP at 25. Hilary became an MP in 1999. I can't work out my maths, but you were obviously 45, I think.
20 years later, yeah.
And that you were writing that you were slightly concerned that maybe your name and also being Tony Benn may have sort of perhaps hindered his career a bit. Did you?
Well, my main concern was for him, obviously, at that stage. But I don't know now. So I'm an old buffer. I'm doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
No, at one stage I did wonder whether it would be harmful. But,
yeah.
In the end, it's all balanced itself out.
Yeah. Okay, so can I now sort of ask sort of questions that I've been asking Tony to Hilary, and just to sort of ask you, I mean, I know we touched some of this, but obviously coming from a very political family, and I mean, you mentioned, was it sort of the peerages case that was when you sort of became sort of?
Well, that was very personal. That was very personal because it affected all of us.
Yeah.
As I said, Dad lost his job. You went off to America for 6 weeks at a time to lecture, to earn money.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I'd never known you being away for such a long time. So that had an impact.
Yeah.
And the '64 election.
Yeah.
I remember coming back from school and asking Mum, how have we done? And delivering leaflets, and you taking me to the Durham Miners Gala in about '64 or '65, and standing on the balcony of the County Hotel as you watch this fantastic procession of the banners go by. So these are a lot of memories. And when I was 10, I wanted to be a firefighter because my grandfather had taken me to a display by the London County Council Fire Brigade, and I thought, that sounds like a good job. But once that wore off, this was all I ever really wanted to do.